So let's go ahead and talk about the little Kimmy story. Remember a long time ago, my name was not Mrs. Salmon. My name was Little Kimmy. And Little Kimmy's mommy and daddy were building a house. And they built that house. And when they were building it, they decided that they wanted to put carpet in the little house. And they asked Little Kimmy, what color would you like the carpet in the little house to be? And I said red. And if you remember why I said red, I said red because all of our letters sit on the red carpet. So Mrs. Salmon is going to write a red carpet down here for the letters of our keyword to sit on. Okay. Then little Kimmy's mommy and daddy, they wanted to know, why do you want it to be red? Because that's where our letters sit on the red carpet. So then she went back to school, and her mommy and daddy were kept building the house, and then they wanted to know what color to paint the walls and the ceiling of the little house, and she said blue. So we have walls and a ceiling on our little house. And she said that because they help us with the size of our letters, especially those lowercase letters. But also, they help us with the capitals. And speaking of capitals, the next thing they needed was little Kimmy's mommy and daddy. Oh, wait. Yeah, little Kimmy's mommy and daddy had a problem. They didn't know where they were going to put the things they were not using. So they decided to build a room above the house called the attic. But capital letters live in the attic. And they start at the very top of the attic. Big line down, and they hop back up to the top of the attic, and this is capital B. And all of our capital letters start in the attic. But we don't use capital letters all the time. Remember, boys and girls, that we only use capital letters at the beginnings of names and the beginnings of sentences. So just like little Kimmy's mommy's things that she stores in the attic when she is not using them, B is for, like this capital B, we only use capital B at the beginning of names and the beginning of sentences. And as the story goes on, they start to move in the house, and Daddy comes home one night with some work to do, and he needs a place to do his work. So they put a workshop down in the basement, and we have some letters that fit in the basement. We don't have to talk about what letters those are today, but there are 5 letters that have parts that helped little Kimmy's daddy in the basement. Okay, so let's talk about our lowercase b, because, lowercase b is very important. And that is what we're going to practice today. And if you watched the other video with the baseball bat and the baseball, you're going to know that we start at the top of the attic. B, lowercase b, is one of those that starts at the top of the attic. We do a big line down, and we stop at the carpet. And then we go back up the very same line, and our circle goes on the right side, or on this side of the stick. Whenever we start with a stick, whenever we start at the top of the attic, or whenever we start with a stick, all of our humps and bumps and circles go on this side. So every time we start with a stick, we make our circles and small curves and so forth. Always go on that side. So this is lowercase b, and B says B. Let's say that again. B says B. So we are going to make a baseball bat and a baseball on our chart here to show that our ball and our bat start with B. So here is our baseball bat. It's really tall. And here is our baseball, and we always put the baseball on this side. And of course, we want it to make it look like a baseball. Because everybody knows that Mrs. Salmon's favorite sport is baseball. So there we go. We put our baseball, the red stitches on our ball. So let's practice that B again. We're going to start at the top of the attic, at the top of the baseball bat, and we're going to do a big line down and then a small line up. Then our circle goes on this side, and B says B, just like in the word baseball. You might notice that Mrs. Solomons' writing is not as nice on this little board she has at home. Baseball. And that's because it's kind of wobbly. So my handwriting might not be as nice. Now let's think of some words maybe that begin with B, like baseball. How about Brooklyn? Brooklyn. We have to have a capital B for your name. Brooklyn's been home doing her practice. She even sent me pictures of her doing the shaving cream. Brooklyn, I'm so proud of you for doing that, for working on your letters with the shaving cream, and I hope everybody else tries that too. Brooklyn. Brooklyn starts with a B. We also need to remember that those capital B's for names, okay? We have to use a capital B. How about the word book? Book. We all like to read books. And on the next video, Mrs. Solomon's going to read you a story from a book. And it's a story about baseball. Book. Okay, and let's do another word. Maybe you can tell your mom and dad, whoever's working with you at home, a word that starts with B, like book and baseball and Brooklyn. And how about bear? Because you might have a stuffed bear at home. Or how about the word bread? Because we all like to eat bread. Bread. And if you go into the kitchen and you look at the bread, the bag, you'll see that bread starts with B. And remember, whenever we write these words, we always start at the top and do a big line down and then a small line up and our circle, circle, circle. We're going to do an activity in the next couple of days about that and sorting our letters. So let's make sure we remember how to sound those words. Sound that sound, B, like bread. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to stop this video. So today's lesson is going to have 3 videos, and that's okay. And you can watch 1 or 2 at a time, or you can watch all 3 of them on the same day, on the same time. It's just easier for Mrs. Solomon to upload smaller videos. All right, I'm going to turn this one off and make another one. Bye.